Love is never simple. It doesn't come alone. It carries secrets, tests loyalty, and sometimes even breaks hearts before healing them again. This is a story of Mina, a woman who believed love was her strength until it became her biggest wound. Nina was not someone who believed in fairy tales. She was practical, calm, and carried a quiet strength within her. Working as a junior architect in a reputed firm, she had built her life on her own, step by step. That was when Arav entered her life. He was everything she wasn't: charming, confident, and full of life. A senior project manager in the same company, Arav had a reputation for being both brilliant and unreachable. Their first meeting was simple. What started as casual conversations turned into shared lunches, late-night work discussions, and eventually long walks under city lights. Nina didn't realize when she fell in love. And Arav? He made her believe he had already fallen long before. Months passed and their love deepened. But there was one thing strange about Arav. He never spoke about his family. Whenever Nina asked, he would smile and say, "It's complicated. I'll tell you someday." Nina trusted him. Love made her trust him. One evening, under a sky full of stars, Arav held her hand and said, "Let's get married." Nina was shocked. "So soon?" "I don't want to lose you," he whispered, and she believed him. They got married quietly. No family, no celebrations. Just a simple court marriage. Nina thought it was romantic. She didn't know. It was the beginning of the biggest secret of her life. After marriage, Arav insisted they keep it hidden. "Just for some time," he said, "until I fix things at home." Nina agreed. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and still no one knew. But something else started changing. Arav became distant. Late nights, unanswered calls, and excuses. "Work pressure," he said. Nina wanted to believe him. Until one day, she saw something that shattered her world. She was at a cafe, waiting for Arav, and then she saw him, sitting with another woman. Not just sitting, he was holding her hand. The world froze. Nina couldn't breathe. She walked up to him slowly. "Arav?" He looked up, shocked. The woman beside him frowned. "Who is she?" Nina's voice trembled. "I should be asking that." There was silence, and then came the truth. "This is my fiancée, Ria," Arav said quietly. Nina felt like the ground disappeared beneath her. "Fiancé?" she whispered. "Then what am I?" Arav couldn't meet her eyes, and in that moment, everything broke. Nina learned the truth that day. Arav was already engaged before he met her. His family had arranged his marriage with Ria, a wealthy businessman's daughter. But he fell in love with Mina. "I was going to tell you," Arav said, trying to justify himself. "When?" Nina's voice was cold now. "After marrying her too?" "It's not that simple." "It is simple," she replied. "You lied. You betrayed me." She walked away, not just from that cafe, but from the life she thought she had. Nina left their home. She didn't cry. Not yet. Pain hadn't fully reached her heart. But life had one more shock waiting. A few weeks later, she started feeling weak, dizzy, unwell. After much hesitation, she went to the doctor. And then she heard the words that changed everything again. "You're pregnant." Nina sat there, numb. A child. Arav's child. Tears finally fell. But this time, they weren't just of pain. They were of fear, confusion, and a strange, unexpected love. Nina had two choices: forget everything, or fight. At first, she wanted to disappear, but then she placed her hand on her stomach, and something changed. This child, deserves a life, she whispered. She decided to keep the baby, but she also made another decision. She would not go back to Arav. Nina focused on herself. She worked harder. She grew stronger. She built her own identity. Months passed. Her pain turned into determination. Her love turned into silence. And her silence slowly turned into something else. Not the kind that destroys others, but the kind that proves your worth. Meanwhile, Arav's life wasn't perfect either. His marriage to Rhea happened, but it wasn't love. It was business. He couldn't forget Nina. He tried to find her, but she was gone. One day, he heard something that shook him. Nina is pregnant. His heart stopped. He knew. That child was his. After months of searching, Arav finally found her. Nina was standing outside an office building, confident, strong, different. "Nina," he called softly. She turned. For a moment, time stood still. Then she spoke. "You don't have the right to say my name." "Nina, please. I need to talk." "There's nothing left to talk about. I know about the baby." She froze. Silence filled the air. Then she said calmly, "Yes, I'm pregnant." "It's mine, right?" She looked straight into his eyes. "Yes, but that doesn't make you a father." Her words hit him hard. "I made a mistake," Arav said. "Give me a chance to fix it." "You didn't make a mistake," she replied. "You made a choice." Nina didn't scream, didn't cry, didn't beg. That was her revenge. She lived well. She succeeded. She became someone Arav could never have again, and that hurt him more than anything. Months later, Nina gave birth to a baby boy. Holding him in her arms, she smiled for the first time in a long time. "You are my strength," she whispered. Her life finally had meaning again. Years passed. Nina became successful. Her son grew up happy. And Arav? He was divorced. His marriage with Rhea ended. One day, fate brought them together again. Her son ran toward Arav, laughing. Arav looked at him and saw himself. Tears filled his eyes. "Nina, please," he said, "let me be part of his life." Nina stayed silent, not out of weakness, but because she was thinking. That night, Nina thought deeply about love, about pain, about forgiveness. She realized something important. Holding on to anger was not strength. Letting go was. The next day, she met Arav. "I won't come back to you," she said clearly. Arav nodded, tears in his eyes. "But my son deserves a father." Hope filled his eyes. "You can be part of his life," she continued, "but only as his father, nothing more." Years later, their lives found balance. Nina never went back to Arav, but she forgave him. Not for him, but for herself. Arav became a good father, and Nina, she found peace. And eventually, she found love again. Not the kind that hurts, but the kind that heals.